What's up, y'all? Welcome back to The Raging Atheist. And today I'm going to finally answer the question that our good friend Shockofgod has put out for any atheist to answer, and claims that for years now, no atheist has been able to answer this question that he poses. And he says he's posed it to all the great atheists on YouTube and all the great debaters, and I think he's even claimed that he posed it to Christopher Hitchens and Stephen Hawking, and none of them could answer this question. Well, what is the question? Here, I'll let my good friend tell you.
Go from my village to my neighboring village, and nobody, not one single person could answer my question. It is such a beautiful question, so elegant. It shimmers like all the gold in El Dorado. My question is this: where is your proof and evidence that atheism is accurate and correct?
Now, this question is a rigged question, and I had actually made a long video answering this question and just obliterating him. And I was going to use the Anunnaki and Samaria. I was going to use the whole history of atheism, and I was going to just crush this. But I don't need to go there. I don't. There's only one answer to Shockofgod's question. And that is the thing that led me to atheism when I was a child. That is the thing that led me to first question the whole story and existence of a God creature. And that is the motherfucking dinosaurs. Now, as far as we know, the dinosaurs were the first living rulers of this planet. And they were great giant serpent creatures, reptilian creatures, giant creatures with very small brains. So did God create the dinosaurs? Simple question. And this is what led me to atheism, because when I first started learning about the dinosaurs, I was a kid in school and I went to a museum, and I was fascinated by it because I had been learning about God, and I had been learning that God made man first. But yet here is clear scientific evidence that before man ever came along, these great giant creatures ruled this planet. And that contradicts the theist version of how it all happened. So dinosaurs is the proof that atheism is accurate and correct. You know, we don't pretend to know if there is a God or not. What we do know for a fact is that the stupid ass stories you put all your faith in aren't true. Where does it say in Genesis that God made the dinosaurs first? It doesn't. You know, the dinosaurs are so old that the remains we find are fossilized, which means they have turned to stone. That's how old they are. And we also know that they died off because of some cataclysmic event that pretty much killed all life on the planet. And only a few very small mammals survived, which would go on to be the next living creatures to rule the planet, which would go on to be us. So we came long after, and creationists like Ken Ham and all these Christian Bible thumpers would have you believe that God made man first, and that the dinosaurs were our friends and let us ride on their backs like some episode of the fucking Flintstones. That's not accurate. That's not what history says. So explain to me, my fellow Christians, how, if your God is perfect, that he can make the dinosaurs first. Was the dinosaurs created in God's image, or were we? And that's the question that led me to atheism in the first place, because I realized that these stories aren't true and couldn't be true if you just used your logic. But see, people like Shockofgod, they want to pose these gimmick questions to try to stump people, even though they're so illogical they make no sense at all. It's preposterous, but it's what they do. And not to mention that religion was only created 10,000 years ago. The whole concept of God only entered humanity 10,000 years ago. Well, guess what? Human beings have been around on this planet for 200,000 years. So for the first 190,000 years of human existence, God didn't even exist. He wasn't even brought into the fucking equation. For the first 190,000 years of human existence, human beings were atheists. Atheism is humans' natural state. Religion is what controls our minds. You have to break those chains of slavery to truly be free. As always, I am the Raging Atheist. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, share me on your social media. See you soon.